Hello, and welcome to A Pair of Dice Lost podcasting channel. My name is Brendan. My pronouns are he, him, and I will be playing the Overlord, Alistair Upperton.
Hello, my name is Julia, and my pronouns are she, her. I will be playing Eve Sturgeon, the Ogre class.
Hello, my name is Sean. Pronouns are he, him. I'm going to be playing Plink, the mascot.
My name is Jane. My pronouns are they, them, and I will be playing Kit Bootstrap, the orc.
Hi there, my name is Jonathan. My pronouns are they, them, and I will be playing the Outlander, Johan Falk.
And this is Fellowship, Fall of the House of Upperton.
During this episode, I tried my hand at writing a set piece. I thought it went over pretty well, and if anyone's interested in it, I'll be posting it on Twitter once it concludes in the next episode. On this episode, the Fellowship puts their plan in motion for a celebration for the town. Kit takes children to a machine what eats child fingers, Johan and Eve help entertain the town, and Plink decides to become very, very brave. This is Episode 6, A Totally Normal Barbecue, Part 1.
And we're here, we're back, and we're ready to go. So, tonight I have prepared a custom set piece for the evening, which is a totally normal barbecue. I cannot emphasize for the podcast enough that the amount of air quotes that should be going on here. It is totally normal and definitely a it's definitely a barbecue. Look, it's not totally normal.
I was promised roasted meats.
Basically, the Fellowship has invited the town out of the way for them to celebrate something, and in doing so have set the stage for them to wreck a magical device that is causing the town lasting harm. It's definitely not an asbestos-spewing drill, more or less. Phase 1 for this is a totally normal barbecue. There are some stats which I'm going to share with you about it. The first one is don't get caught. Something shifty is happening to set up the destruction for later. It's going to draw attention. This stat can be damaged 4 times before it is destroyed. If the stat is destroyed, move immediately to Phase 3, Blown Cover. The plan, the group has to find a way through careful planning to execute their plan. Whenever they successfully execute a part of the plan, damage this stat. This stat can be damaged 5 times before it is destroyed. If the stat is destroyed, move to Phase 2, Plan in Motion. Finally, the Townsfolk. The Townsfolk will find ways to innocently get in the Fellowship's way. It's not their fault for being so interested in heroes like that. If the Fellowship acts mean or demands the Townsfolk leave, some things will happen.
Okay.
Basically, the Townsfolk are going to get in your way and try to muck up your plans. But it's not their fault. They're just so interested in you guys who are super cool.
Honey, they can't help they're stupid. Just move on.
We will get into the other phases as they come up. So, I believe that this is Kit's barbecue. Kit, would you like to set the scene, or would you like me to set the scene for you?
You can go ahead and set the scene.
Okay, so, after a few days of logging and taking people up here to clear out the area, the townsfolk have gathered for a celebratory barbecue that Kit has decided to throw for the town. They're not going to argue. They're getting basically a free party thrown for them. These people have not exactly been in the best spirits, and you all have noticed after a few days of keeping the loggers outside of the smog that their senses kind of return to them after a few hours. And especially if you keep the cigarettes away from them.
Oh, absolutely. Taking a bite out of smoking.
Well, you can't smoke next to a logging camp. You'll set everything on fire. That's ridiculous.
Exactly.
We'll obviously have to deputize someone as the safety deputy.
What if Kit's new friends from the schoolyard?
They can be our safety deputies.
Our safety deputies.
They don't need to be going to school. It's fine. They can miss a few days of school for an on-the-job field trip.
You all have invited the town up here. The meats are being cooked. There are roasted animals over Spitfires. being turned slowly. There are barbecues going. There are bowls full of fruits and salad and all these yummy things that are being prepared to serve and feed this entire town. What are you all doing?
Over the course of logging for the last couple of days, Johan has been focused on clearing out a very long stretch of field. And the purpose for this was a game to play at the end of the barbecue, the big finale for the whole barbecue, which is going to be a caber toss. For those of you that aren't familiar with a caber toss, you take a big log, something that looks like a telephone pole, and you throw it underarm, and you try to flip it 3 times and throw it as far as you can. And the end of the barbecue is going to be this big caber toss. And Johan is going to go around and talk about how everyone needs to participate in this grand old Phoenix Company tradition. And hype it up like a carnival barker. So, people will be standing around eating their meats and, talking with each other, and Johan's just going to roll up and be like, have you heard about the caber toss? Everyone knows about the caber toss. It's wonderful. It's a test of strength. Every man and woman in town should give it a try.
So you're going around talking this up. Are you talking to anyone in particular who could spread the good word, or are you just kind of, getting on a podium and, talking?
I think I'm going to start by talking to Steve, who is the town manager.
Okay.
And talking about how a healthy competition is good for employee morale. And this is an excellent way for you to both check out employee morale and covertly find out who your strongest employees are in case you need to have any heavy objects moved around town.
Well, okay there, Johan. I like the way that you think. That's a real good way to figure out exactly what we're going to do with this going forward. I think that we got kind of like a mind share thing going on here.
We're on the same page.
Yeah, we got some of that mind share going on. It's real good way, real great for employee morale. Going to increase productivity, at least 10%. Going to be great when I bring it back to my boss.
Now, Steve, this will only work if as many employees as possible participate. You don't want someone who's maybe shy or afraid of crowds shying away from it, because they might be your strongest employee, right? You really have to get everyone involved with this, and it's a lot of fun. Don't make it into this, sort of boring company function. It's a fun thing. It's supposed to bring employees together and make them excited.
Okay. He kind of nods and is very. He seems pretty enthusiastic about it, but as that I know that this is part of y'all's plan. What role do you think that would be to get this plan to succeed?
Can I give assistance?
How are you going to give assistance?
So, while he's talking to Steve, Eve is just going to be very, very, peacocking. Lifting the biggest trunk she can, walking it over to the field, laying it down. Now! I don't think this one's gonna be quite right for size. Now, any of you big strapping young folks over there, which one of y'all think you can toss this faster and harder and farther than me? Let me go get a trunk fit for a lady. And she's going to have the ball gown that she normally uses to make herself shorter into her full 7.5 foot tall form with tree trunk legs, and just walk off and start looking for a bigger tree trunk.
Okay. I think that you trying to help out with this plan in this scene, I think that is definitely going to give Johan hope with this role. What do you think that you're rolling for that?
I believe I'm talking sense, because
I believe that you are too.
I'm trying to convince him with a rational explanation for why he should do this for me.
Okay. Do you think so talk sense can be rolled with grace, sense, or wisdom? Grace is when you impress, dazzle, or trick them. When you detail your plan and their place in it, it's with sense. And when you appeal to their emotions or their desires, it's with wisdom.
Wisdom.
No, I actually think it would be sense, because I am giving Steve a very rational plan for doing something useful and practical for the town. And all he has to do is, go around and spread the good word of this caber toss. Okay. So, that's my plan and his role within it.
Okay. Please give me a sense with hope, then.
That is going to be an 8. With 2 is going to be a 10.
Okay. With a 10 plus, you are able to... he does as you ask, and you don't owe him a favor for doing that.
Okay.
With a 10 plus, you are able to damage the first part of the plan.
Cool.
So that now has the first thing done on it. Steve gets up and goes, okay, Johan, I think that I've got a plan for this. I will get on my upper horn, and we are going to start through the upper horn and all across the upper waves.
In my head, it's a bullhorn, but when you hold it up to your face, it makes it look like you have a top hat and a monocle. Like, that's the upper horn.
I'm gonna be honest, that's what it looks like now. On top of that, he also has held out to the top hat is the equivalent of a CB radio thing, and there's a small antenna that comes out of his backpack as he's now broadcasting to all of his under-managers who are having their own top hats blast this into their ears so that it can just get spread out throughout the town just as quick as possible. As he's just like, all right then, team, I just got done talking to my main man, Johan, here. This guy is now part of the Upperton think tank for the mining town. And let me tell you, we're going to start a caber toss. And you can kind of hear, like, muffled, like, what's a caber toss? We don't understand.
As I'm challenging people.
As you're like, basically just flexing at them.
Which one of y'all thinks you could beat me in this?
Now, I think the next step of our plan is a distraction. And I think you're on the hook for that.
I was going to say, yeah, let's swing the spotlight away from Johan over to whoever wants to be on Team Distraction.
I'm still upset about upper horn.
We all are.
Well, I mean, I could just kind of like roll around and be an adorable magical animal. That would probably work pretty well, but that doesn't feel, I don't know, personal enough. What if... Oh, okay, I know. I'm going to have Plink go through a little armadillo-sized obstacle course.
Okay.
That we need Kit... Oh no, Kit's doing their thing.
Yeah, Kit's got to talk to some delinquents and be
Dan?
like, hey, help me set the drill up for the
Dan.
party.
Can I use my bond with Greta, the local blacksmith, to have her help me build this? Because my bond with Greta is that she enjoys working with me.
I will let you... Yeah, you can damage that stat, and she will work with you.
So I lose that bond?
No, you damage the stat, not the bond. So the blacksmith's stats are... The blacksmith has spare weapons, and the blacksmith has a strong arm.
Okay, so I would damage one of her stats.
Yeah. Which stat do you think is appropriate for...
Well, it's an obstacle course, and clearly there needs to be, like, tiny axes constantly going back and forth.
Okay, now...
And there needs to be an element of danger.
Wait.
There's gotta be an element of danger.
So I'm thinking that the spare weapons is a really good one.
Okay, so Greta is going to set up an obstacle course made out of spare weapons for Plink.
This is far more involved than I initially had anticipated. Okay. Should be fine. You know what? No, this is going to be fine.
As Plink's internal monologue is going, you are being hovered over by the local children and some of their mothers as they're just kind of looking over at this obstacle course that has been made. And over time, a lot of people are coming over to look at it. So I guess what is going to be appropriate for this? I think that the two things that would make the most sense, well, actually three things. I think you could either roll Overcome, because you're overcoming some danger, which is this now dangerous-ass obstacle course.
I feel like Plink is like, this is going to be fine, and then Johan walks up with a lighter and sets the entire course on fire.
You can roll Keep Them Busy.
And Eve's just over there, like, throwing down the double thumbs up, like, yeah, buddy!
You can roll Keep Them Busy, which is basically, you're keeping their attention. Or you would be rolling Get Away. Basically, a blood, courage, or grace roll would be...
I like keep them busy. I think that's very apropos to what we're trying to accomplish here.
Okay. In that case, if you could roll keep them busy for me, which is with courage.
Okay, not my worst stat, but not great. Oh, we're about to kill this armadillo. That is a 7.
Okay. So, on a 7...
Don't you always roll with hope?
No. I never roll with spare.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those are two different things. So, you are keeping them busy for a short time. There's only going to be a little bit of time that you're able to keep them busy for the next part of the plan to go off.
Okay.
So, while that you are doing this, and you basically Plink is... So I'm going to let you know that you see something in just a second. Describe to me a narrow miss, I guess, from the obstacle course in which that you might see something.
I think is going up one of those, if you ever see like a dog show, the little like step up and then like through a tube and then the step down.
Yes.
Except this one apparently has flaming axes swinging at me now.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Anytime.
And you just barely miss one of the flaming axes. You kind of take a tumble and like look up at the sky, and you can see one of Alistair Upperton's bird drones staring down at you as the optics zoom in. What do you... you are now in danger of being found out. So I'm going to swing the spotlight for a moment over to someone else.
No.
So, can I burn a bond with Plink?
To do what?
To notice the drone as well, and send Gertz, the Falcon, to go take it down. Or, if it's too tough for Gertz, to shoot it with my musket. Because something bad will happen to Plink if I don't protect them from it.
Also, not to derail, I know these things have been mentioned in like a narrative kind of cutaway. I don't think we've seen these things before.
No, you guys have not seen them, but like they're kind of a constant thing that you all would be aware of.
There's no real birds except for
they're drones. Oh,
yeah, they're
God.
drones.
Of course, yeah.
There are real birds. These things are like steam-powered, like clockwork automatons.
Like
they
horrifying Looney Tunes.
They're like ubiquitous enough that you recognize, oh, that's one of those things. Okay.
So the bird notices you. If you would like to... Yeah, if you'd like to burn a bond, you don't really burn a bond.
How do burning bonds work?
It's abilities. So I can burn one of my bonds to heal people.
The only time you really burn a bond is when you either act against someone, like put them in harm's way, and then like either purposely or not.
Like having a bird circle over like a big mechanical kraken. Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Pulling a random example out.
Well, I mean, I'm honestly following my bond with Plink because in Eve's mind, Plink is just the perfect shape for tossing him out.
Right. So, like I said, I'm going to... You notice it, and now that you've noticed it, and there's like, kind of like, you know... Because basically one of the things that Fellowship does is, when I set the scene and you notice that you're in danger after a roll, like a mixed success, I'm supposed to swing the spotlight over to someone else.
No, perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, I imagine it's like the armadillo in the headlights look. It's like...
Because then that also gives the other people in the group time to think of a move to do, or you time to think of a way to deal with it.
Yeah, like the audible, like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you guys like, the other two of you like to do? Because you guys have not had the spotlight yet.
So Kit needs to talk to Travis, the leader of the kids.
Okay.
About a very important job for the barbecue. Now, this is important because they're safety deputies.
All right. Safety deputy.
Yeah, so safety deputy.
Okay.
The drill. You gotta safety deputize the drill. It's very important that you go through the drill and I'll show you where. We're gonna do it real fast. And you just, you gotta unscrew some stuff so we can put new screws in it. as part of the barbecue, orcish tradition, where you make stuff more good during a barbecue. The stuff making.
The stuff making. I love it. I love it. And you see a taller woman kind of grab him by the scruff of his shirt. Now, Travis, what are you doing over here talking to this other small child? I thought that I told you no more hooliganism. As his mother comes and picks him up by the arm.
Ma'am, I am not a small child. I am just a small orc. And that is Travis, the sheriff, the safety deputy. And he has safety deputization work to do.
Travis, I had no idea that you were trudging with no orcs.
He's a working man.
He's 9 years old.
That's old enough to be working and won't eat his fingers.
Why would you eat his fingers?
No, I won't eat his fingers. Machines eat fingers. Okay, so we got the barbecue, which everyone is going to be at. You're going to be at the barbecue, ma'am?
Yes, we're at the barbecue, are we not?
Travis has a job for the barbecue that's very important. That only Travis can do. Because he's a safety deputy.
I would like you to, I feel like this is going to have to be a talk sense. Because this lady does not want to give up her child to the finger-eating machine that is upwards in court.
So that is just a sense roll?
Let's see. So, talk sense can be grace, sense, or wisdom. You're not trying to impress, dazzle, or trick them.
I am being honest. It is a job that only Travis can do because he is the safety deputy.
Are you detailing your plan? No, you're not detailing your plan or their place in it. Are you appealing to their emotions or their desires?
I guess I'd be appealing to their...
Emotion or desires?
Yeah.
So that is a wisdom roll.
Yikes! That's a 5.
Alright. They look to you and they go, alright then. Well, if you want to deal with my son, have him be your safety captain, I'm going to need something from you in return. Because on a 6-, you can still ask them to do the thing, but they're going to ask a favor of you, which can be expensive, difficult, or demeaning.
Let me look over my pile of ill-gotten gains. Kit is going to root around in their little poncho pocket dimension doohickey and pull out a Tiffany lamp from the train and hand it up to the woman. Yeah.
Oh my god, I remember you taking that.
Yeah.
I've got it written down on my character sheet.
I thought it was going to be
Tiffany
ammo.
lamp, bobblehead, cat o' nine tails, wooden stake, and pine cone mace.
I forgot about
Wait, but isn't this technically like an orcish weapon that you...
Oh,
Not yet.
It is now, yes, but it's
Okay.
still a Tiffany lamp.
Okay.
It has not been used to bash anything or fired out of a junk cannon, so I think it still works.
She's going to stare at the Tiffany lamp. Alright then. But, I'll take this. Because she has a connoisseur's eye for this.
Oh, of course.
She can kind of tell that it's a little off. But she can't tell how. She doesn't have Oogle to look it up and figure out what the difference between an orc Tiffany lamp and a real Tiffany lamp is. So she's gonna take it from you, but then she's gonna be like, all right then. But I also want your solemn promise that no harm will come to my little Travis.
I solemnly swear that no harm is going to come to your Travis, leader of the children.
All right then. So I'm gonna let you know she will leave you alone, but if some harm should come to Travis during this entire set piece, the townsfolk stat will be damaged, and then things will get bad.
Oh no.
It's just children disassembling heavy industrial equipment. What's the chances of anything going wrong?
Step 4 is gather the crowd.
Well, we still need to rescue Plink from being discovered.
Yes, please.
Eve, what are you doing? Because Eve has not gotten a turn yet, so You don't always have to swing around like in a circle, but you want to make sure that everyone gets time to do stuff. So if you wanted to interfere with Plink's stuff, you are welcome to. Or if you wanted to do something else on your own to kind of help out, you are also welcome to that.
Because my stuff comes, closer towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that I was gonna think to do would be starting to gather, the first round of people for the toss over by the field and, showing them how it works.
Okay.
Talking them through it and coaching them through it and showing that it's you pick the log that works best for you, but you still want to challenge yourself.
Yeah.
Because I know that Johan had a thing that he was going to do to save Plink.
Well, if you have an idea, I am totally down.
I do not.
Okay.
I do not. I do not have any other idea except to take Ethel and launch her rocking chair up at her and have her take her knitting needles and jam them into this thing.
Since you kind of have, I don't want to say nothing to do right now, but
I'm sort of mingling.
You're kind of mingling.
I'm being southern and adorable.
There's going to be a group of southern and adorable gentlemen callers who are going to come up to you.
Oh, honey.
There is a...
Everybody wants to fuck a slum girl.
There's Troy Reginald Cook Esquire III. And he comes up to you, and he is a large, burly man who has, looks like that he's had a long day in the Upperton mines and to afford this nice suit that he's wearing. He's doing that I've got nice clothes, but I don't like being in a suit jacket, so I'm going to roll up the sleeves and show off my arms and just kind of doing the strut at you. He's going to look to you, and he's going to go,
I love it.
Well there. Don't see a lot of slugger ladies around here.
Y'all don't have... Well, I don't see y'all having very many rivers or lakes. We don't... Brackish water like myself, we don't tend to leave the swamps.
That makes sense. Shame. Normally they're, fun bunch to be around.
Got a question for you.
Yeah, what's that?
What do your conservation efforts look like up here?
Conservation efforts?
Yeah, with the local wildlife.
Well, we've been doing our best to make sure that the local bats in the caves we've been mining out are moved properly to new homes.
Such as? What kind of new homes?
Upperton, sanctioned zoos and wildlife preserves.
That sounds fantastic. Now, if you don't mind, there's a really scrumptious-looking piece of cake over there on that dessert table. I'm going to just go run myself on over there and grab it. But you have fun now.
Yes, okay. I'm going to ask you to get away from this man. That is Grace.
That's a 6.
Just flat 6?
Flat 6, I got no bonus.
He watches you and just kind of goes, "It's nice seeing you. I'll take myself out." I'm going to swing the spotlight back over to wherever that... Oh, do you have a thing?
Was he at any time trying to talk sense? Or speak softly?
Why?
Just wondering.
Why?
Because I have an ability called Peace and Quiet. I may spend 1 use to deal damage to anyone who gets close while trying to talk sense to you.
Do you want to deal damage to someone who might be the townsfolk?
See, here's my thing, though. If he does try, not taking no for an answer goes very badly.
Mm-hmm.
Just as a heads up. So
he was not trying to speak softly or talk sense to you. He was not trying to convince you to do something. He was just trying to speak with you. So you got a 6 then.
Yes.
He's going to keep following you.
Okay. Honey, I am the exact person that I want you to follow throughout this whole thing. Think about it.
So, with a 6-, I get to, as the Overlord, I get to do a fun little thing called making a hard cut at you. Well, I can't find it on here, but I know that it's...
Then it doesn't exist.
So,
Then you don't get to do it. It's not real.
what the Overlord is going to do is the Overlord is going to...
Get very mad that somebody else is hitting on his slime girl?
No. One of the Overlord's minions is basically from this, is going to reveal an unwelcome truth to you. What's your opinion on Alistair Apperton's latest plans?
Well, you gotta understand, I've been traveling quite a bit. News ain't exactly real. What's the word that I'm looking for? Consistent when you're on the road.
Yes, well, soon we'll have a new factory.
Oh.
Yes.
What kind of factory?
Oh, the biggest factory in the world.
Where?
North Pole.
Oh? What's going on with this?
I'm really good. That sounds like a wonderful opportunity for me, actually, with my logging skills. I might be able to help break up the ice down there. What would be the purpose of this factory?
Why, to create toys for all the good little boys and girls under Upperton's rule. You guys now know that Alistair Upperton is planning to subjugate the North Pole because the North Pole is a source of power.
No!
Oh, no.
I just realized that I also should have given a cut to Kit for that. You know what? We'll come back to that when I swing the spotlight back to you.
Okay, sounds good.
Because I have other unwelcome truths to bring up.
No.
Unwelcome my truths.
It's one of my favorite moves because I don't actually damage you, but I damage you mentally as the player.
That has dealt.
Yo.
D6 psychic damage to everyone at the table.
Yo, real talk? Upperton sucks.
Alright. So, Plink is in danger. There's a robot hawk.
There's a robot hawk looking at you. What are you gonna do? Or what's anyone else gonna do?
So I had floated the idea of either sending Gertz to make mischief with the hawk and distract it, or pull out my musket and shoot it under the guise of some kind of trick shot.
Okay, either of those would work. I feel like the musket would probably make the most sense, just because the bird is gonna... Well, no, you would probably want to use the bird to keep the drone busy, to give you advantage to finish off the drone with your musket.
Okay, cool. So, I'm going to go over to noticing the mechanical hawk. I'm going to go over to where Gertz is chilling, probably eating like a piece of chicken or something. Pick the bird up. I'm going to point at the hawk and toss the bird up so it can fly.
Okay.
Just chuck the bird, man. I'm tired.
You damage one of his stats to, does it make mischief?
Make mischief.
Okay.
That is the stat. And I'm going to try to do this a little bit incognito. Like, I'm not trying to hide necessarily. I'm just not drawing attention to myself. Once Gertz has taken flight, I am going to walk out into the obstacle course where Plink has fallen. And I am going to go, ladies and gentlemen, this is your halftime show. I am Johan Falk. I am one of the Phoenix Company, and I am here to impress you and dazzle you with my skill with trick shooting. Behold,
A man.
Speaking of chicken.
I am going to reach into my pocket, and I am going to pull out a Alistair Upperton novelty monocle. And I am going to hold the monocle up to the crowd so that everyone can see it. And then I'm going to underhand toss it as high into the sky as I can, lift my musket, and I'm going to try to toss the monocle in such a way that it lines up with the hawk from where I am on the ground, the mechanical hawk. And I'm going to try to shoot through the monocle and hit the hawk.
Okay.
Off the backboard, nothing but net.
Yep.
Let's see. So, you're finishing them. So, would you say that this is blood, courage, or grace?
Is there any technical difference?
Grace is demonstrating superior skill by waiting for just the right moment or with panache and style. Courage is rely on your luck, tenacity, or virtue to outlast or impress them. And blood is overpowering them, ambushing them, or using your innate talents of your people. I would argue either blood or grace.
Yeah, I'm going to go with... I would prefer to do blood because my grace is not good.
Right.
So I prefer to do blood with the innate talents of my people.
Okay.
This is a trick shot that, like...
You're a warrior.
Yeah, I'm part of the Phoenix Company. Alright. That is going to be a 7.
What about, you do not have blood then?
I do not have anything in blood, no.
Okay. So, with a 7 to a 9, you deal damage to a stat that makes sense and lose your advantage over them. The drone bird only has one stat, which is like eye in the sky. So, it destroys them.
Okay.
And it goes down. As that you do this, though, since it was only a 7 through a 9, the bird comes down. Gertz comes down completely unharmed, as if the bird has kind of kept the drone in place. But the monocle comes down and has not been shot through. The people are, oh, you killed a bird. Poor bird. This thing is, with the remains of it from a musket, can kind of from a distance be seen as a bird.
Johan is going to turn beet red. And realize that it's going to take too long to reload his musket to do another shot. So he is going to hurriedly say, back to your regularly scheduled entertainment, and scurry off the field.
Okay.
Right, the old man had a wonderful show. Let's get back to this ditto.
Okay, so what is next on the plan?
Step 4. Gather crowd.
Well, I believe...
Step 3 still has to be finished.
Yeah.
Sabotage.
Yes.
Sabotage. You just got the kid. Now you got to get the kid to do the thing.
Okay, yes, Travis.
Yeah.
Okay.
Screws. Take out the screws, and then you're going to replace the screws.
Yeah. It's a big tradition at Orcish barbecues. You gotta make the stuff, or you gotta make the stuff better.
Okay. I'm going to make the stuff better. I'll go get my crew.
Yeah, and you gotta get the whole crew, and you gotta remove the screws so we can put the new fancy screws that are coming later today.
Fancy screws, got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it, boss. I got you. Are you coming with them to help, or are you just kind of ordering them to do it?
I will help them.
Okay.
Kit will scurry along.
Okay. So you're going to scurry along with the hooligans. We're going to just kind of say that what that you just had happen was part of your scene. As you were rushing down, you do hear the mother of Travis kind of in the background. Because you got a 6 as well, right?
I got like a 5.
You got like a 5.
Oh, it was
so
bad.
I'm going to use that cut to also give you an unwelcome truth. I can't believe my boy hanging out with orcs. Can't wait until Upperton's armies finish taking the heart of ingenuity from the orcs.
Oh, thanks, I hate it!
Oh. As they have just revealed that one of Alistair Upperton's plans is to steal the orcs' item of power, the Heart of Ingenuity, and it is currently at a 2 out of 3. He is very close to acquiring it. And by the way, if he gets another item of power or a place of power, he gets a new stat.
Oh no.
No. I think as Kit hears this, they're gonna sort of like stumble a little bit, stop, and be like their eyes are gonna go wide like dinner plates under their cowboy hat. Be like, no.
So
that son of a bitch.
I just kind of made this thing up because I thought that it was kind of a cool thing based off of your how that orcs are very like they have a lot of ingenuity to them, like based off of all your stuff. So, but you have final say on what the Heart of Ingenuity is. Do you want to think about that for later, or do you want to just kind of follow where the ADHD brings you?
No, let me brain on that a little bit. Let me chew on that.
Okay, yeah, we can.
Something.
We can chew on that.
TBD. Got it. To be determined.
Okay, so
No, I got it. I got it. It is less an object and more a group of people around an item of power. It's because shamans are also very important for orcs.
Mm-hmm.
It is the most powerful and creative shamans the orcs have, all convening together in like a dope-ass orc wizard council. And they're basically in like a bubble, channeling their creativity into this like... I imagine to the orcs it looks really, really cool and like, oh, this is such a cool thing. It's just kind of like a hunk of junk, some garbage art.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like channeling all their wizard power into it. And that goes through and kind of bleeds out into all the orcs around the world.
Okay.
Naturally.
I had a thought that, like, when you were like, yeah, it looks really cool to the orcs, and I was just like, but what if to the rest of us, it just looks like a bunch of hobos standing around a burning trash can, spouting nonsense?
Oh, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Because, like, that's the mental picture that I have.
But to orcs, it's absolutely, like, airbrushed, like, van wizards. Around like an orb of power, but it's essentially like a Molotov cocktail trash fire.
Yeah,
with some like just dudes around it.
I'm here for this.
Just brainstorming and bullshitting and being like, let's strap rockets to it.
Okay then.
And then we have a coffee maker, you know. Like.
So normally I should have like put that at the end of your scenes, and you kind of had like, oh no. Well, we're going to just say that was at the end of your scene, and then
that's fine.
And then this is like the beginning of your scene where you're back in the town and you guys are about to start taking the screws out. How do you want to do this? I guess is the plan. Or I guess is the question. You're at the drill. It's not being guarded as far as you can tell.
Yeah, so if it doesn't look like it's being guarded, I think Kit's going to kind of go up first. You know, double check for guards, and if the coast looks clear, wave the kids over and start pointing out. Like, now Kit's not an engineer, but Kit's really good at destroying things. Just you know, unmaking man's creations and God's work.
With their sinful little hands.
With their sinful little horrible hands. Okay, John? And they're gonna go with their heart for what says this would make the biggest explosion.
Where's the big red button on this thing?
How would I, with my sinful little hands, undo the works of representing the hubris of man? How would I turn this into a weapon?
Okay.
So Kit is going to just imagine all the kinds of weapons they could make out of all these bits and bobs and screws and whatever else goes onto a drill. The drill, for one. And just, while visualizing that, tell the kids where to pull screws.
Okay. I feel like there are two ways we can go about this. You can either talk sense to the kids, or with either grace, sense, or wisdom. I feel like that this is a sense roll, since you're detailing where to pull things out. Or, wow, it would both be sense rolls. My other idea would be to look closely for it.
I think look closely is appropriate.
Okay.
So sense 8.
Okay, so with an 8, you get 2 questions, and because I've been rereading the rules, everything. If you could tell me what those 2 questions are before I give you answers, one of those questions I'm going to reveal to you the hard way.
Okay. I think the first question is, what is the weakest spot structurally on the drill?
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, my second question was going to be, how do I safely remove the children from the situation without getting their little
getting their hands
eaten?
So that you can keep your promise to his mother.
Okay,
that promise.
So I'm going to definitely say that...
I concerned about the figures of children than, like, something I said to someone's angry mom.
Well, I mean, it was the same thing. She promised that you...
To someone's racist angry mom.
Yeah, someone's racist angry
Okay, so
mom.
the promise that you made was that you wouldn't let any harm come to this child.
I was gonna do that anyway.
Yeah.
It's not my fault she's racist.
So,
No, it's not. You're making this kid not racist.
let's say. So, I feel like, first off, yes, you are making this kid not racist.
Yes.
And secondly, I feel like that second one is the one that you get revealed the hard way. That you learn about the hard way. So, what was the first question again?
What is the structuralist weak spot on the drill?
The structurally weakest spot on the drill for y'all's purpose of knocking it down and everything is going to be the support structure on that's facing where the toss is going to come from. If you can knock that out, once one of the support beams goes, the drill's basically going to be thumped. You notice as you're thinking about, well, how do I reach these kids to not deal with this, to not get their little how does the giant child eating machine not reach these kids?
How do I reach these kids?
You hear one of Travis's little mischief-making hooligans just start going, it's got my jacket! It's got my ponytail! Help! Help! I need an adult! What do? It's got his jacket, it's got his ponytail, he needs an adult. Are you an adult? All the adults are up on the ridge, you're the only one who's close to being an adult.
Okay, Kit is gonna skitter up there, and so...
You can't use the Tiffany lamp for this.
I know, I have something else. So, you're not gonna like it. I feel like people are gonna judge me for what I'm about to say. I have the ability strong as an ox. I can use it to smash through a wall or a door. I want to, like, rip the kid's hair in half. And, like, rip his jacket off of him. And shove him out of the way.
I feel like...
Does that just happen, or...
It just says, use this to smash through a wall or door, 2 uses. And this will be my second use of it.
I would not say that this is a wall or a door, but you could just roll with blood to do this.
To shred their hair?
Yeah, because that's like a show of strength.
Okay.
You could, I would say you could roll with blood to, you would roll with blood to overcome the danger.
That's an 11.
Nice. You absolutely give this kid a wicked cool barber cut. Like
in my head, you jump up, grab the kid's ponytail, and bite through it in one clean bite with your pointy little horrible teeth.
But
as your other hand goes shredding through like Freddy Krueger claws through the cloth.
But now, he's got a wicked torn up jacket that looks super cool.
He's got his denim punk jacket.
And his hair looks really stylish.
You gave him a Liberty Bell, or the Liberty Spikes, and a punk vest.
I was just imagining like a little redneck kid with a mullet, just being like, "Yeah, look at me."
No, you gave him he would have gotten a mullet if you got like a 9 minus, yeah. He would have gotten something embarrassing that his mother might be upset about. Now he just has like a cool kid.
He's got the swirl in the front, like the greaser swirl.
No, Travis has the pompadour.
Okay, well
we already established that.
Okay. What does he have, like, the 90s, like, frosted tips spike?
Oof. He got scared and his tips frosted. He got so scared. Okay. So, the children have helped you after this to... You know what? I feel like that you would still need to overcome this still.
Sure.
If that's fair.
Yeah.
But since the children make mischief, if you want to damage their mischief stat, I'll let you roll with hope for it.
Yes, let's make mischief.
I feel the sudden urge to start a boy band.
Oh no.
So would this also be blood, or
yes, this would be
destruction? Blood. That's a 7.
No.
What's your blood stat?
Oh yeah, that's a 9.
Okay.
I can do math.
So, you can either pay some kind of price to take a 10 plus result, or you can deal with the 7 through a 9. I will let you know that the 7 through a 9, you are going to get spotted by one of those birds, and we're going to swing the spotlight away from you.
I will pay a price. What I will do is I will say that something falls and conks Kit right on their dumb little noggin, and that will be a usage of armor.
Okay, fair. Okay, so you paid a price to take a 10+. Rad.
Thank you all so much for taking the time to enjoy our show. If you enjoyed what you heard, why not give us a like, subscribe to the channel on your podcast app of choice, leave a comment, or even a review. It may be a small thing to you, but it helps us in the continued fight against the algorithm. You can follow us on Twitter at apairofdicelost, on Facebook at apairofdicelost podcasting, and hey, if you like the old-fashioned email, why not send a question into, you guessed it, apairofdicelost@gmail.com. Our theme song for this campaign is Behind the Sword by Alexander Nakarada, copyright 2017 under a Creative Commons license. And for making it this far, I think you and me just had a moment. So let's form a bond so we can both roll with hope.